So I'm going to talk about all the gear I used this past year, and we might as well go ahead and get started, and I'll talk about some bonuses, some pluses, the new stuff, what didn't work and what not. So we might as well start off with backpacks. So I only used 2 backpacks this year. I used the Ultimate Direction Fast Pack 20. I needed something that was I only had 20 liters. My ultralight kit, I can fit like 3 days worth of food in this with everything. I'm not really an ultralighter, but I had kind of a death march, 50 miles in 50 hours, and I was just trying to lighten my load and get a smaller pack. My bigger pack, everything would just swim inside of it. So, and if you watch the channel, you know my backpack. And this is the backpack I primarily use. It's a mchale bump, and it's all custom, but I really enjoy this pack. This is 3 years into using it. It just seems like it's just now getting broken. I highly afford if you've been in that for a while, burned up a few backpacks, maybe look into something like his. And that's pretty much the only 2 backpacks that I used this year. So let's go ahead and move on over and see what kind of shelters I used. So I used a couple different shelters this year. I used, this is a tarp. I used the sling fin split wing. I used this, this is my primary tent, although I didn't use shelter. I didn't use it as much this year as I have in the past. Moving forward in the next year, I'll start using it again a lot more. I just wanted to get familiar with another new tent that I had bought this year and used it quite a bit. So I used this a couple times. Again, I used it for the, it's only weighs like 7 ounces, and I used it for the that Death March. And but yeah, so I really like this shelter. I'll post a picture up someplace, and so you can see what it looks like. And then also from Sling Fin, and this is Portal 1. You've got about 50 nights in this now. I've had it in a ton of rain, had a ton of wind load on it. Haven't gotten a whole lot of snow load on it. I don't think that'll be an issue whatsoever. I bought this because I wanted a 3 to 4 season tent, something that I could use year round, even in my type of winters, which aren't, crazy. It's not like we get 10 foot of snow and minus 20 degrees. But for Pennsylvania and probably most of the East Coast, I found that this is a really kind of lightweight, bomb-proof shelter that's really built for lots of rain, lots of wind, and lots of snow. And yeah, I've enjoyed this tent a whole lot. And like I said, I had about 50 uses in it this year. It's something that I would definitely recommend if you were looking for more of a weather storm-worthy tent that's, not way up high on a mountain or something like that. I did not use the Nemo at all. I didn't use the hot tent this year. Before the year's out maybe, but I doubt it. And then I used my hilleberg, and I'll post a picture too, the enon. This is also a great little tent. I bought it for the same reasons I bought the other tent, but this is Hilleberg's like 3 season. This is the lightest tent they make, and it doesn't work for winter. It doesn't. I can only really use it, for about 2 or 3 months out of the year at the most, because it's a really solid tent. It's built like it's built well. Craftsmanship, the quality, it's all there. But looking back at things, I wish I would have bought a little bit of a larger Hilleberg. This thing is tiny, and it can't work. It's not going to work in winter. But I did use it a couple times. I do enjoy using this tent. It's a coffin. It's real small. And so that's primarily the 3 structures I used. I did, if you watched the beginning of the year's video, I did, you know, as you can see, I really like split fin. So I mean, sling fin. They use a nylon 66. It's a sill, and I really like this type of material. I did not get a chance to use the tarp that I had bought, and so hopefully this, you know, this year I'll get more into tarp camping. It's something I found that I think I like. I've been doing some cowboy camping, and so I think a tarp, it's lighter, and you know, it's small. So let's move on to the sleeping bags and sleeping pads. Down here, where I keep all my my sleeping bags and sleeping mats. So primarily, I used a whole bunch of different sleeping bags this year. Mostly all my down, my quilts and sleeping bags are all feathered friends with one exception. But primarily I use the 20-degree quilt. It's the extra wide version, 950 power down. It's super light. I like feathered friends, so as far as the down goes, that's what I primarily used. And then this year I bought this Phil Hutchinson's design wafer bag. As you can see, it's tiny. It's like a 3/4 length. It weighs 6 ounces, and this has opened up my eyes to, you know, I got this to get down, and it gets me down to 50 degrees. You just wear a jacket over top of it, but you know, you can ball it up to practically nothing, and it, like I said, weighs 6 ounces. So for 2.5 seasons out of the year, I can get away with just this, and it opens up a lot of room in the bag. So you know, those late spring, early fall, summer, those longer trips, I can get away with not going to my huge backpack for long food carries. And again, even short overnighters can just, you know, maybe downsize the backpack, or but it works, and it works real well. I've never been cold, and it really got me thinking that I might get have maybe Feathered Friends work on one, or maybe get back a hold of Phil Hutchinson, but they're in UK, and I'm not sure what the tariffs are like right now. And get like a 30-degree one and do the same thing and just wear my jacket over top of it. But yeah, so this is PH Designs, or Phil Hutchinson's designs. And they've been around for 60 years. They've been making down garments and sleeping bags for longer than anyone on the planet. So I mean, they know what they're doing. They have a really cool website, really cool YouTube videos that they put out. It's just they're not. It's what they do is not meant for everybody. It's a lot of it's highly customizable stuff, and highly, you know, he makes sleeping bags for guys that do desert races, you know, expedition. He's all over, like, he just has a lot of different types of sleeping bags, but the quality is top notch. He's world renowned, like I said, and I'm thinking about getting a 30-degree. And on to everyone's favorite stuff is sleeping pads. I can't claim that I've had hundreds of nights with 10 different pads this past year, but I've used 5 or 6 different pads, and so I'll just go over what I've used. So the Gossamer gear, again, for my super ultralight setup. This thing sucks, honestly. I've had it maybe 5 or 6 nights on it, and this is the only pad have yet to get a good night's sleep on. I've used it for wintertime, putting under I use it for a bunch of different things, but sleeping pad, no. And what I did was I cut it in half to get even lighter, so I can guarantee that I don't get a good night's sleep when I use it. But I don't know how people use these things. They suck. And then I've used the the newer Thermorest Neo Loft. It's the 4-inch one. It's a nice pad, and I don't know. Everyone talks about comfort, but every single sleeping pad I've owned, I've had good night sleeps and bad night sleeps. A lot of it's, how level the ground you get on, and if you have the appropriate R value, and some nights you might think there's a bear there all night. So I can't say that one sleeping pad's more comfortable than the other, but I can say that I've had an excellent night's sleep on every single one that I own, except for gossamer gear. But so this pad, and I got I think it come in a 24 and a 26-inch version or something like that. If I were to buy it again, I'd get the wider one. I got the more narrower one, which I think is still, it's 24 and 26 inches, I believe. And so, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, well, this is lighter, but it's already a fairly heavy sleeping pad. I'm not going to go over specs or try to sell you anything. There's tons of, YouTubers that'll give you all that stuff. But what I can say is that this is like 2.5 to maybe 3 season. It's 4 inches tall, and I've used it in the bumper seasons, and I've gotten a little cold. And I think that's just because your body's not going to heat up that 4 full inches, and you're kind of struggling with it. This is my primary sleeping pad. It's the ProLite Plus, and it's a self-inflator. I just found that for me, it works the best. I've always used one, and then when I got away from using one of these like Thermorest self-inflators, I just found that I just struggled a little bit with them, with every other pad, and so I ended up back with this one, and this is my primary one. Although in the summer months, I'll probably take that for the comfort, because again, I'm like lighter just because it's summer months. It's lighter. Might as well carry a heavier pad and be more comfortable. But like I said, I've slept like a baby many times on this. Then the Thermorest X-Therm I've been using this year, and this is the newest one, the NXT version. So I probably have, I don't know, about 15 nights on this one in the back country, and it's warm. It's real warm. It's I like it a lot. It'll get me through the winters, and I really appreciate it for that. It's definitely the warmest sleeping pad for backpacking that I've used. The Xped Mega Mat with a 9.8 or almost 10 R value. That thing's real warm, but it's you can't backpack with that thing. And then I've also used this in conjunction with the winter bag, and in conjunction with this. I found that these two together are almost as warm as the X-Therm, but it's just you're just getting into a little bit more bulk. And most of the time in the winter months, I'm gonna carry this anyways, so it makes, I'm just gonna use the X-Therm unless I'm around the fire or something like that. Like if I'm just doing winter shelter stuff, I'll still use the ProLite that thing will still work if it gets a hole in it, and the X-Therm, it'll pop. So that's pretty much the sleep system I used. I've been back and forth with the pillow. I didn't use it for a long time, then I started using them, but I just kind of moved my hat over to the side, and that's like gives me a perfect pillow. And sometimes I have to move it around a little bit, but for the most part, yeah, my hair works as my sleeping pillow. It didn't for a while, then all of a sudden it's working for me again. So yeah. So and then while I'm here, one of the newer items this year is the Aditech grizzly bear locker food bag. I've enjoyed this. This and that sleeping pad are some of my new favorite pieces of gear this year. It's lighter than the air sack. It doesn't, soak up water. It keeps my food dry. This one's a little smaller. It's lighter. The only thing is, I wish that he would have made longer straps. That they would put longer straps on this. But other than that, that's the bear bag. So let's move on to the cook system and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into some of the smaller items in the cook kits. So my normal cook kit is the 550 toaks, the wind burner, MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. If you want to stove for the rest of your life, buy this one. That works, pretty good year round, and performs really well. And so it's pretty basic. It's pretty much what one form or another what almost every backpacker uses. I also went this year again with the ultralight kit. I decided to use a Esbit stove and a 500 mil pot, and this is what the Esbit tabs look like. So that's enough to boil this cup of water 4 times. So it's by far the lightest way to have hot coffee or use freeze-dried meals. This stuff is really stinky, and it's as you can see at the bottom of the pot, it's really messy. It smells like really rotten fermented fish. It's not good at all. And so on some if you want to go super ultra light and still cook, this is the easiest way to go. Again, each one of these is like 2 boils of 500 mils, so you can that would be if coffee and dinner, so each one for a day. But that's pretty basic stuff. I don't see this cook system changing at all. This is my Hilltop's bag poop kit and first aid kit, and I just call it my oh shit bag because oh shit I need this, oh shit I need that, oh shit I forgot that. So I keep some small common stuff that I often forget. Not a spoon. I also use this little flask. This gets taken not on every trip, but if I want a little nip during the trip, I take that. The water filter I use is Platypus. I broke one this year. I broke these threads, and I got back. I sent them an email. By the end of the week, I had a brand new one. Here's the old one. I had to mark off Platypus, write this number on it, send them a picture. And like I said, I got off the trail. I sent them the email on Sunday when I got home. And by Friday, I had a new water filter. So I can't say that, their warranty program's amazing. So that's the best for me. My favorite golden cherry was my favorite electrolyte of the year. This small saw, I've been using this it's from Sulik out of Canada, and I've been using this skeletonized saw for the last 2 years. I love it. It doesn't feel as nice in the hand as the regular handle, but it knocks off a half a pound almost. So it's definitely worth it for as much as I use the saw. I do like to have a fire for most of my trips and whatnot all. And that's the 2 knives I used. I used this little Zippo knife, and this has been the one that I've come to put in my bag on every trip. It's real light. It's sharp. It's made up in Bradford, PA, and by this, they make knives up there too, right across from Zippo. So, and then I also used it's dirty. You need to clean it. The Opinel. This is pretty light. The blade doesn't seem to stay too sharp, so you have to keep on top of that. The flashlight I changed, so I've only used this one for 1 year. This is the Phoenix HM71R. This has a lot of juice in it. It's probably a little too much. I could probably go 10 days without charging this on trail, even with a couple nights of night hiking. So it just has a little bit too much battery. When I purchased it, I didn't realize. I think this has a 72 or 7500 milliamp battery. So I'm definitely, I do like the light a whole lot, and it's great for night hiking. But around camp and just a little bit of night hiking, if you're not out all night, it's a bit much unless you got multiple days. But it's nice to have enough juice in your flashlight to where you don't have to recharge your headlamp. I just found with the Nightcore that I pretty much had to charge that thing, every day on trail. I'm moving around all night long and I stay up late, and it just that particular, the battery's too small, so I quit using that a long time ago. But so next year, I'm probably going to move to a little bit smaller one, move this over to like a work flashlight. I use one every day, so it's not a problem. And then let me grab you, show you some other small stuff that I use. So I always carry stickers with me. If you see me on trail or want one, just ask when you see me out. But I told you I wasn't selling you anything, but here I am. They're like $2.50 a piece. I'll leave a little link below. It just supports this project. I'm absolutely not making any money off of them. But we have my logo, the Stone Smoky, Give a Hoot, Bury Your Poop, and the Big Green Mossy Rock Wilderness, Burning Trees National Forest. This is, my mess of everything. And like I said, there's my poop bag. And so these hyperlite pods, I've been using almost on every trip. It varies, but I go in spells with these things. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. And what I'll do is give you a quick tour of the gear room. It changed a little bit since last year. I'm only going to do this. I'm not like a gear channel. Primarily just like to do the trip videos, but I like to do the new gear and do like a little review. If you have any questions on anything that I have or have used, drop them down below. Again, I'm not going to have any links. If you want links, just leave a message and I'll drop that in the description at that point for you. But let's take a quick look. So this is a new print I got when I finished the Laurel Highlands hiking trail this year. Still working on the Quahana project. That's when I finished every trail in the Allegheny National Forest 20 years ago. I bought that patch. It's the North Country Trail if you walk across it in the Allegheny National Forest, my volunteer patch. I bought this when I was like 19 years old and had some ambitions for it. So I think it's silver actually. And then that's just some stuff. And then I just put this up this year. This is the Trailblazer. I really like that. This is where I keep my tents, the pews, and a lot of the fishing gear. That's all my clothing. If you guys want any videos on clothing, let me know. I might make some. That's where I leave my all my sleeping stuff. This is just like the catch-all. Some old musky lures. I don't musky fish no more. some Ansel Adams prints. And then we just celebrated 100 years of the Allegheny National Forest last year. So I did use this this angle cooler quite a bit this year for traveling. It's great. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. It's all my fishing gear, more sleeping pads, and some hot tent stuff is in there, some camping stuff. So that kind of wraps up the video. I appreciate you guys hanging out in my gear room and checking out everything that I that I used this year. And again, if you have any questions, just drop them below and I'll get back to you. Thank you guys.